I am your host, Azar Faraday. Is the magnificent Paul Pierce.
Today I'm the truth.
The truth.
That's a different voice. That's my alter ego.
That's the different voice. Mr. Truth in the house.
Mr. Truth is here today.
Okay, we gonna see.
I hold the wall up.
And we
this
have
is Paul here now. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Hey, what's up? Oh shit, Truth is
the glasses mean okay.
Okay.
Oh,
the
walls
glasses.
up.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I dig it.
Oh,
Okay.
Damn. We're talking the truth today.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So we have Soko Reynoso. She is my friend and an incredible therapist. She is on today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're so excited to have her. So we want to try to help
break down this wall.
Yeah, we want to break down this wall. And the next episode, we want to try to find him love and bring some women on that he can meet. But we can't do that until we can address this.
Definitely. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like she said, I get into these situations, I start liking somebody, get close, and then boom. And then I get distant. And then once the distance, we start swimming, then I come real back in. Then the wall go back up again. I don't know how to break this wall down.
Okay.
What is going on with me? What do I need to do?
I want to understand the history of this wall first. So have you always had this wall? Like, did teenage Paul have this wall?
No, I've always been in a relationship my whole life. Like, this is the longest I've probably been single. I've been single now 3 years. So ever since I was just like 14 or 15 years old, I was like with a girl in high school, college. After when I got to end of college, it was like 7 years. Boom. 12 years. It was just like always in. 3 years after that. So now, yeah, all them years added up. I'm 47.
So you had 30 years of relationship.
I've probably had at least, yes.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yes,
That's
I've
a
had at
long
least 30
time,
years
Paul.
of relationships.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
for sure.
So your identity was the man with the woman.
Always.
Okay.
Wow.
Always. Yeah. I was always somebody who had somebody, boom, be with her. Boom. Yeah. So now, and they wasn't always perfect, and there was some mishaps in most of them.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, when you're 14, you're going to have some mishaps. Yeah.
When you say mishaps, like, were you cheated on in any of these relationships?
Man.
Or was it you doing the cheating? Were you doing cheating?
I wasn't honest in all of them.
Okay. Well, you were young and you were an NBA star.
Yeah. And,
Not excusing it, by the way, but I'm just
and
saying.
I just want to get an opportunity to just kind of like, that's what it is.
What you mean?
I apologize. It was just like I was in love 3 times. 3 times, yes.
Married once?
Married once.
Yeah.
Engaged once.
Okay.
Engaged after you were married?
Before I got married, I was engaged to another girl. I was with her for like 8, 9 years.
Okay.
And then we broke up. And
That's
then
a
I
long
got
time.
the next girl. I was with her and got married to her.
And you were married to her for how long, Paul?
I think I got married in I don't even remember when I got married.
You don't remember how many years you guys were married, though? Like, was it more than
I think women do that.
Yeah, I know,
It's
man.
like
That's not a man
9.
thing. They're like, I don't know.
I think I was married like 9 years.
Okay,
and
that's a
then
while.
probably like with her like 14. I
Okay.
think that's what it
Wow.
was. 9 married, 14 years together.
Okay. That's a while.
That sounds
So
about
you were
right.
in love with someone, engaged to someone you were in love with, and you married another woman you were in love with. Those were your 3 loves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
No, because you're mother of your children.
Yeah. I was in love with. I got 2.
Right. So your ex-wife, the other girlfriend
The
that
girls I
was
was
the mother of your-
engaged with, I was in love with her too. We was
So
living together. I lived with 3 straight girls.
So the girl he was engaged with, the ex-wife.
She lived
and
with
then his
me.
baby.
My wife lived with me, and then I
yeah,
had another
yeah.
kid after the ex-wife.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was living with her also.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We all lived together.
You are not all of them
Oh,
together.
that's
He's
right.
like,
No. It was
To
like
each their
that. That's
own.
how the relationship was. It was just like, it was serious. When you live with somebody, it's
serious.
It's serious.
And I want to say this, Paul, because you've said this so many times on the podcast, so I want to make sure you hear this portion of what he feels. Another big deterrent for him to bring another woman around is that he feels like he's gotten to a point with the mother of his children,
right.
both of them. Everyone is copacetic. The children love everybody. They
Yes.
all
So I
family
have- so-
holidays.
Yeah, it's going good.
I have 3 kids
Yeah.
with my ex-wife.
Okay.
And then after my ex-wife, I had another kid. Everything is cool. I'm cool. Holidays, we all together.
Beautiful.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything is cool. So then I think maybe it comes from like, damn, how do I bring another girl into this dynamic? Like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that yet or if I'm ready. Like, I got a 16-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, 11-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl. So now it's like, what if it's Christmas? I got everybody over there and I got a girlfriend. Like, that dynamic, is that going, I don't know if I'm ready to bring a third, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and sometimes we think we need to know the answer before engaging with the person. You may not need to be thinking that far in advance. Like, that may be
thinking too far in advance.
Yeah, just like increasing your own anxiousness when you don't actually need to. Because you might meet a girl who's cool as fuck who blends in really well. Like, that is a possibility, but your mind isn't allowing you to think that way.
It's not even the girl I'm thinking about. It's this.
You think about how they're
I'm thinking about this. All this sitting here.
Right, and I'm saying a cool ass girl might flow.
I know the girl gonna be cool,
but you just don't know that they're.
I don't know what the kids gonna think. I don't know what kind of picture I'm gonna paint on them.
Okay.
You know, like, I don't want to confuse them. I mean, it's not confusing because I don't hang with the mamas, but like, what kind of picture is that gonna paint towards me?
What do you mean?
Know what I'm saying?
What are you fearing? Like, what
like,
picture do you think
if
it will
we
paint?
hanging out and ex-mom is here, ex-mom is there, the kids sit around, we in here listening to music, then I got ex right here, my girlfriend right here, and it's just like, I don't want it to be all uncomfortable, because it's harmony right now, you know, it's karaoke right now.
Okay.
You know, I don't want the karaoke session to like not be there.
Okay, what about the possibility of you meeting a cool girl, liking her, and her not being a part of family
Because I will
events?
tell you this, they can't bring no dude over.
Well, because it's your house though too. Right?
Yeah, they can't bring no dude over.
Okay, well, is it possible? Okay, first thought I'm having right now, theory on you, is that perhaps you jump in too fast, and that's why your wall is protecting you, because you know you move too fast. Because most women wouldn't think they're going to be at the holiday dinner with the kids. A lot of women are like, I'm gonna wait. Some women don't want to meet the kids yet either.
Okay.
But I think are you assuming that it's going to happen quick? Everything just happens quick for you, and has?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
and that's because
I'm listening to his story, and all I could think of is I've had friends over the years who have been serial daters. They've always been in relationships since high school. They have never been single. As soon as they broke up with a partner, they got with another partner, and I don't think you ever have time to really work on yourself and do some self-reflection and figure out who you are as a person, because you're just so used to being a partner. You're so used to being in a relationship. I had one friend who she's had, like I said, since high school, even before that junior high. She got married in her early 20s. They divorced. She's on her second marriage, but she's never really given herself any time to take a break and really figure out who she is as a person. And then your identity becomes wrapped up in that, because you're so used to being the partner. You're so used to being the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the husband, the wife, that you forget who you are in that sense, to where you don't know what you are like by yourself. And when I hear Paul talking about this, for him to be consistently in relationships for so long, to have proposed to one lady, to have married another, to have another woman that he really liked substantially, and then to have kids on top of that, he's just so used to being in a relationship that even though he's single now, the idea of a future relationship just puts him into what he's already had in the past, because he's never had anything different. It's just been from one relationship to the next. There's never really been a break to where he's been able to say, who am I as a person? What do I really want? Which would cause some hesitation to then just jump back into another relationship, because you know about yourself, well, I'm in these relationships so often, you just really don't get to really identify with who you are as a person. Sometimes it's good for us to just be single, to really do the work on ourselves, whatever that may look like. And each person's, it's different. Some people might have to deal with certain type of traumas. Other people might have to deal with their financial issues. Other people might have to deal with past relationships, friends, family. Let's bring that into it as well, too, because family is a dynamic that I don't think a lot of people talk about when you are looking for new relationships. How is your family going to play a role with your new partner? And in his case, since he has those kids spanning from 4 years old, the youngest, to high schoolers and older children, he's thinking, I don't know if I quite want to get into another relationship, because like she's saying, he's already planning so far ahead. He's already thinking of the future instead of just in the now, because he's been so used to being in relationships. It's kind of like shake it off, be single for a while, and don't be apprehensive about moving forward, but first really make sure, what do I want to do? So this is good that he's talking to her, because like I said, I haven't really heard a lot of guys with this point of view and with this perspective saying, I'm just a serial dater. I have been in relationships. I have chose monogamous relationships at certain points for long times as well. It's not like he was in these relationships for a few months, a year, 2 years. At one point, 9 years he was married. Other relationships for a long time. That really is your identity. So I cannot wait to see where this is going to go. This is going to be a great conversation. We're able to get into his inner thoughts and for him to explain the man's perspective of how he feels in this. And I love men's perspective, women's perspective. I love to hear both sides because they're so very different and we can learn so much from them. My husband actually put this on for me. He said, T, you have to go back and you have to look at some of the older footage, because we have been reviewing The Truth After Dark with Paul and Azar. We've been doing that for like the past couple weeks, and I love their content. So my husband went through, he looked at some of the older footage, and he was just like, you have to go in here. So that's where we're at right now, and let's get back into it, because I can talk forever, so I want to get back into it.
Like, you speedboat in relationships still? You move fast.
Man, I guess so, huh?
Well, it makes sense because you've always been with a woman.
Yeah.
You're like, this is what we do. We just jump in.
So my wife, I met her in February. She moved in October.
Yeah, you called it. So go.
I mean, that's not hella fast, but that's fast.
9 months.
It is to move in already. February.
Move in.
Well,
October.
I mean, how old were you?
30.
Okay.
That was, I mean, that, I guess.
And when did y'all get married?
And we wasn't even living in the same state.
Oh, well, that also increases the time that decreases the time it takes for people to move into, because it's like, come on, let's just be together.
The lifestyle I live, it was like, you never gonna get to know me at the time unless you stay with me.
Gotcha. You needed
You
it.
know what I'm saying? You would have never ever got to know me because I'm traveling. I'm in the league. I'm traveling every other day.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, you never gonna ever get to know me unless you stay with me. She came, visited me, boom, and I was like, I want you to stay with me. And she left, got her clothes, came back.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'm already thinking
It
that
went from a weekend to like, okay, live with
A
me.
lifetime.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, walls aren't always bad, right? Walls are like a defense mechanism, and your walls might be going up because they're saying like, whoa, Paul, we don't have
Slow
good
down.
enough- we don't have good enough screening skills yet. We don't vet properly. So like, put that damn wall up before you get burned again.
You have to learn
It may be
that.
slowing you down because you need to be slowed down, these walls.
But
But
to my credit, they've been long term too.
With walls?
No, but I'm saying like I moved too fast, but that ended up with like a 14-year relationship.
yeah, I get what
Yeah,
you're
but
saying.
how did it end?
I mean, we still in the room.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so it's not yucky. But what was the hurt like? Because typically we put
It was
walls up to
resentment at
prevent
first.
hurt.
It was resentment at first. The breakup is always resentment.
Yes.
And then you get over that, and then you like, all right, let's be adults. We got kids. Let's move towards something different than that. As I'm saying, like I'm telling you, I'm older, so like let's mature, and I'm trying to get you on that level. Like, listen, you ain't gotta like me ever, but we gotta communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then, it's a lot of conversations.
I have a question. So what I'm trying to see is like, so he has this wall, right? But the thing is, there has to be a healthy balance, because if you have this wall and it is protecting you, what if though it's like, why am I getting to build this bond with this man, right? Let's say I'm the woman, we're building this bond. You put this wall up and now you're like, boom, I'm cold, ice. Like I'm not talking to you for weeks now because I have this wall. It seems like he has like an avoidant
I
style.
think my last one created it.
Why?
Because I told you, like I said, the marriage ended, and like a couple years after that, I got with
Yes.
another girl, and we lasted like 2 or 3 years. I had a kid. I was vulnerable with her. Man, when I tell you, I was like, oh no. Like, I gave out some information that got thrown in my face, like in the argument, and I was just like, damn, like, for real? Like, it was like, whoa, like, he was just like, it was brutal.
That's
it was
hard.
like some brutal shit. And I was just like, hold on. I don't want to tell nobody nothing no more. I don't want to open up no more. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you...
Ladies, you need to key into that part. And then even men, it's okay to be vulnerable in a relationship, but I understand why you don't want to. And this is not the first man that I've heard say this either, or even athlete in that way. I remember when Shaquille O'Neal said he's not giving up any of his personal information to anybody. He's not going to be vulnerable. He's like, why? Why am I going to do that? And I can understand, because at any point these women can use it against you. And he said, I told this lady some very vulnerable stuff, probably deep stuff that he had not told to anybody, and then in a fight she brought it up against him. And I think that when we're in fights with our partner, we want to really strike a nerve and we want to say what hurts the most. But if somebody was comfortable enough to divulge that information to you, you shouldn't use it against them, because a person wants to have a safe space with you, to be able to connect to you, to be able to be your partner. And even for my husband and myself, I remember there were times in our relationships when I told him, it's okay to feel these feelings. You could tell me how you feel. And because we have those conversations back and forth, and I gave him a safe space to be open with me about anything. Because that's the thing, you guys, we're people. We're human. We have experiences. We might have something that we have carried for years. We haven't told anybody, and we just want to be able to unburden ourselves with that information to our partner. And to know that you've unburdened yourself to your partner in which you thought was a safe space, and for them to throw that back on you in a fight, to be vitriolic, will make you put up your walls to where you're like, I'm never doing that again. Because some things we haven't told anybody, and those are the most important things that we need to work on, and that we need a partner to help us with. They don't have to know all of the information, but if you're going through something, you want your partner to know why you're feeling a certain way, why you might have walls up, why you might not be so quick to tell them all of your business. And that has to be the most important takeaway. If somebody is going to be vulnerable with you, or vice versa, women want to be able to be vulnerable with men too, and just have open ears and no judgment. I think a lot of times too with women, we want to tell men something and men want to fix it. That's just their thing. They want to fix it. I will come to my husband with a problem, or I'm just venting, and he will give me 20 solutions. And I'm like, I just want you to listen. I don't want a solution right now. I want to be able to process it. But what's great is we've been able to we've been together almost 20 years now. So even though I want to vent to him, he has figured out a way to help me solve it while still letting me vent. It's not easy. Were we always this great at communicating? No, not at all. I remember I prayed to God. I said, please allow me to hear him the way I'm supposed to hear him, and let him understand me the way he is supposed to understand me. I was so specific because our communication was just so bogged down, and it was not flowing to the point where now we flow. Do we have bumps? Absolutely, because we're real people. But I think that is something we need to realize in real relationships. I'm not talking just weekend flings or we have a situationship. I'm talking about a real relationship with a partner that you want to be with. You have to be able to express yourself. You need a safe space, because if you do not give them a safe space, you will never truly know who they are. They can't grow and you can't grow, and you're both stagnant, and nobody wants to be like that. So for him to be able to admit that is going to make it even more so to where he in the next relationship will be able to give that to the current partner. Hey, this is some issues that I had in my last relationship. I've been working on them so that I can communicate better, but I need you to know that I'm very hesitant with being vulnerable because I was hurt in the past. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
You open up to somebody, you opening up, telling them family business and this and that, and then they throw it like, oh, you did throw the family business back in your face when you argue, when they get mad. That was like,
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We expect when we're vulnerable that the other person's going to.
The last one never did that. That was just something else, a breakup. But this one, that was my first time experiencing something like this. It's hard. It was just like, for real? Like, whoa, for real? Like, whoa, I couldn't believe it. No girl has ever done this to the last one.
Okay. So vulnerability, I think, should continue to be exercised. And instead of seeing vulnerability as, I think the best way to use it is to see who can or can't hold what you tell them, right? We know it's a risk when we're vulnerable, but what happens is the people who don't
the devil
use it
come in
against
many
you.
disguises and shapes and sizes. You hear that? The
Tell
devil
me.
come in many disguises, shapes, and sizes.
What does that mean? She
You
was the
don't
devil?
recognize it.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
don't recognize it.
I'm curious about your experience when she threw that in your face. Do you remember how you felt?
I cried.
Oh, Paul.
I teared up. It broke me. I
Because he
teared up
was
right there. I'm in
really
the lobby somewhere.
open.
That's so sad.
You felt like less of a person.
And then they started getting disrespect. I've never been like, that's never happened to me. And I was like, I didn't see this coming.
Okay.
I did not see this coming. But like, I understand there's a thin line between love now, and I never saw that before. I feel like all the girls I've been with, it's been cool to break up. Like, all right, yeah, it'd be like a certain moment, but this last one was a different type of breakup.
Hurt.
Yeah, but I will say this. I think this last one was a result of my marriage to me, like, moving. That one was probably moving too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did she show you any signs of an inability to hold truth?
The signs was like the red flags was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You
I
excused them,
didn't
though.
listen, looking at them and until after.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? It was like I didn't see it until after. I was blinded and I was so ready to move on.
Yeah.
I guess I was too much in a hurry to move on. But the signs is always gonna be there. Like
Yeah,
when I
that's
look at
true.
my other breakups, I didn't see the signs.
You didn't?
When you rewind, you don't see the signs. It was like, all right, this was a good life learning experience. I'm glad I went through this. This journey took me so far. And, in life, I feel like you're supposed to be with somebody. And I'm not sure who you're supposed to be with or how long you're supposed to be with them. But there's going to be people that come into your life and go along your life journey. And sometimes some people can't go no further.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Then for me, I'm a believer in God, and God put these people in there, and He was like, all right, this is as far as this is gonna go.
Yeah.
And you got to understand that what God has done to me. He's put other people in my life that I know supposed to be there, and I didn't accept them because I know this for a fact. But he constantly throw them at me, and I know
You're supposed to learn from
and I
those
don't
people.
see it. The life journey, the road is so long. It's thorn bushes, it's hills you gotta climb,
Yeah.
it's smooth patches, it's rocky road, it's just so much snow, storms, all of that. Swim, sink, run, walk. You gotta know the ones you can run with, who gonna run with you, swim with you, who gonna go on that smooth path with you. What I realized is I was like, with this last one, I was like, damn, this was like I was going through the thorns, through the thorn bushes. Like when I found it. You can't find nobody when you're going through that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
In
So
the
you
middle
weren't
of
really
that.
looking because you were just
couldn't-
struggling. It was
I
like,
was in
just
the
come.
forest.
Somebody come be
I
with
was in
me.
the forest in the dark and found this one.
And and sometimes too, like he was saying, people are put in your lives and you don't know for what reason. And I just think over the years, I have realized there have been pivotal people in my life who are no longer in my life. And maybe at first it would have started as, there would have been some disagreements or some resentment. But then I realized I was supposed to learn something from that interaction with that person. What was it? What was I supposed to learn from them? How am I supposed to grow? And I'll take it to even my work life, right? At work, I would always come up against the same type of obstacle to where I wouldn't be able to communicate myself well. I would kind of shut down. I wouldn't be able to express what was going on in the work setting. And I just kept hitting, and it was always the same type of person. And then I realized I'm not pushing past this because I haven't learned what I'm supposed to from this so that I can get over this. And God will keep throwing it back to you. He will continue to give you the same hurdle, the same obstacle until you are able to jump over it. He wants you to have all of the skill sets so that you can take it to the next level. So that has happened to me in my work setting. That's happened to me with friendships. That's happened to me in past relationships with myself. I know that was put into my life for me to learn because I'm going to need that tool belt in the future. So even if I didn't understand it right now and I'm like, what is going on? Why am I being put through this? It has always made sense at a later date. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have that because now I know how to deal with something that is much more significant that I really need to get through. And every experience that you have is exactly that. It's an experience. How you think, how you look at it and your perspective is different. Your perspective changes as you get older, I would say, because the same perspective I had when in my 20s or even my 30s is not the same that I have in my 40s. And I'm just so much more understanding with myself, and I give myself grace, which in my 20s I was so hard on myself. In my 30s I was getting better. I was trying to identify who I was as a person, but I have learned to give myself grace, and really just all of those past relationships, friendships, whichever way they went, to just be thankful for those people, to wish them well and say, hey, it's made me a better person who I am. Now I could show up better for my husband. I could show up better for my kids. I can show up better for myself, more importantly. So I think it's great to learn from every experience that you have in life and not be so hard on yourself, because come on. We're hard enough on ourselves. We just need to show ourselves grace. You need to know that you are trying, and that's where it's at. This is a great conversation between him, her, and between Azar, and I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. So stay tuned, because we're going to come back and we're going to continue.